There's nobody that can sit here and tell me the Knicks have a better chance in the playoffs without Melo than with him. They need him. All this is doing is helping to build back that confidence the rest of the team needed. For Raymond Felton, who never looked right after coming back from his injury, is starting to look right again. Starting to play better again. Chandler, grabbing some boards, playing hard, giving it his all. I like the effort I'm seeing from him. Kenyon Martin got in the fold the other night. They're getting more guys involved. They're going to a deeper bench. I like what I'm seeing from the Knicks, but don't anybody out there, you can't tell me the Knicks are better without Melo, because they're not.
How about to say, are they better without Amare?
No, they're not. You can't lose talent and call yourself better. Now, if you take talent, and I'm just saying in an offseason, say you lose Stoudemire, but you gain somebody else. Okay, at least there's something there. You gain something even though you lost something. Maybe it's not all of what Amare had, but you gain something at least. I feel that way kind of with at least we got Kenyon Martin about 2 weeks ago, and he's going to be able to step in and take some of what Amare did. As far as Amare, the Knicks aren't better without him. They're just not using him the right way. And when he's that injury prone, there's really no great way to use him. That's the saddest part about Amare, is the guy can't stay healthy.
Well, that's for damn sure. I mean, 6 weeks minimum with the surgery that he's going to have. I think today actually is a surgery.
I bet you when Melo comes back, this team's going to catch fire again. I just have that feeling. I have a feeling Melo's going to come back. He'll be well rested. Everything will be good to go. He'll get back in a groove, and I think this Knicks team will start rolling again like they did early in the year. I really do.
I mean, look, I think for them, the bottom line is if they're going to play defense. I mean, that's how they rolled early in the year. They were playing defense. I don't care who's on the court for them. If they play defense, they're a pretty damn good team.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. To sit here and say any team is better when they lose one of their best players is just insane to think about. We've talked about this before, in the fact that the ball doesn't move as well with Carmelo Anthony on the court, but it's not really because Melo isn't willing to pass it. It's more due to the fact that the Knicks as a team give him the ball and sort of feel like they need to just get out of the way instead of executing an offense. When it comes down to Amare, I don't think they're better without him either. I think the way they were using him is awesome. I think if you can have J.R. Smith and Amare Stoudemire coming off of your bench to play for your team, that's a hell of a sixth man A and sixth man B type of scenario right there. And you can't really, not many teams can do what they do with those two guys. So, are the Knicks better without either one of them? Hell no. Do they look better at times? Yes. But that's just simply the fact that when you get a bunch of role players playing together, they're much better teammates because none of them want to be the guy, which is what makes superstars is wanting to be the guy. I mean, the biggest knock on LeBron was he was always willing to pass the ball. Well, you know what? You can't get it's almost like asking for your cake and eating it too. The guy makes these great passes. Whenever his teammates make it, you're like, oh, what an amazing look. But if they miss it, it's like, well, he should have kept the shot. And people would do the same thing to Carmelo Anthony. If Melo started dishing the ball in final second moments and asking somebody else to take the shot, people would be like, well, maybe he's not who we thought he was. Maybe he's not the scorer we think he is. But if he doesn't pass it, people are like, well, maybe this team's better without him. Like, nah, come on. Bottom line is, yes, every now and time and time again, the ball will move a little bit better when Melo's not on the court. But it doesn't make the Knicks a better team.
No.
Bottom line. And Amare was, I mean, I'm sorry, but I believe just last week we were sitting here talking about the stretch of 20 and 8 games he was giving people. Yeah. He's averaging, what, 22 and 8 almost all of last week.
Yeah.
Like, he played great basketball. So to sit here and be like, oh, well, they're better without him. You find me one NBA team that won't take 22 and 8 from a guy that's coming off their bench. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right.
So
that's why you cannot say the Knicks are better without Amare.
No.
Or the Knicks are better without Melo. they're not a better team. Like you put it, they may look better at times, but they're not a better team. Yeah. And they're not a team that's going to go further in the playoffs.
And that's really the bottom line. These role players, these same guys, these Novaks, the Feltons, even at this point of his career, Jason Kidd, some of the older guys that are part of this stuff. What you don't realize is that last year, that's one of the things that killed the Knicks. Melo played great during the playoffs, but the role players sort of go into their shell a little bit more when they play in the playoffs. They're a little less reliable. So you need your superstars. So, Amare, 6 weeks, where's that put him? That would put him coming back, the second week of the playoffs? Third week of the playoffs? So they clearly would have to advance. They would have to get into the second round for them to even have a chance to have him back on the court before their year was over. This is a team that expects to be fighting Miami for a championship, so to expect him to be back this year, I don't think is a far expectation. But you need Melo healthy. I think it's good for him that he's missed the past couple games. They've won all 3 that he's been out, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're 3-0 without him right now. No,
2-1. They lost to Thunder by 1 point.
They lost to Oklahoma City. So 2-1 without him. They're getting ready to start a long road trip. Now would be a good time to get him back. He's not missing the game in Denver. If I had to pick one game that he's not missing, that would be the game he's not missing. They start their West Coast swing tonight at Golden State.